Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Monster in the Woods. We are here today. We are going to be playing Token, which is an amazing game that was introduced to me by my fellow player here, B Nar. And I'm exceptionally excited to play it. It is by Glowing Root Press, and it is a duet game which runs off of the trophy system. So I've had a very recent introduction to the trophy system, again playing with you, V, and I've kind of fallen in love with it. So when you suggested this to me, I was very excited. But yes, so that is what we are here to do today. We are here to play Token. So introducing myself first, I am Kat, the law mistress, as I am sometimes known on the internet. You'll find me around Law Mistress 93 or the Law Mistress. And today I will be playing the Seeker. I literally was about to say the word Dweller then. I won't be playing that. I'll be playing the Seeker. And yes, B, please introduce you. Oh, pronouns she, her as well. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. I'm Binar, and I have been invited by the lovely lore mistress to play Token by Gabriel Robinson with her. I am so excited. Oh my gosh, I've played this a few times, and it is such a delight. They, them, I'm a voice actor, occasional tabletop RPG designer, and clearly dramatic. And I am going to be playing the Dweller.
Clearly dramatic. Whereas me, I'm not dramatic at all. Just have to check that. I just like pushed my chair back just then I was like, where's my cat? I just had to check it. Oh, damn, she is right behind me as well.
Oh, we have an extra player.
Please, we have an extra player. I might just cat violence. Okay.
Content warning for cat violence.
No, there won't be
that's
any of that.
That's a joke. We will not be doing cat violence.
Oh god, the idea. No.
No, good lord, no.
All right. Before we get started with the game, I am gonna just quickly run through some a little bit of safety stuff. Obviously, Token is rooted in trophy, and quite often games that are rooted in trophy contain just the teeniest bit of horror or some kind of horror adjacent thing to them. You will probably find that this stream might contain elements of personal loss, violence, conflict, changing power dynamics in a relationship, body horror, monstrous transformation, maybe, and potential temporary loss of autonomy, depending on, I guess, where the road takes us. So if none of that sounds like, or elements of that don't sound like your jam, then I please implore people to put their own safety and their headspace first before anything, and I thank you for your support. But hopefully you are all here and excited as we are to play this game. I must also mention, and I did remember it because I normally forget this bit, we also have a giveaway going.
Yes.
For this game.
Good remembering.
I know. I was relying on you to remind me, but
I got distracted by just how your fabulous intro.
No, well, thank you. I'm trying. So we have a giveaway going. So we have kindly had by Gabriel, who is the creator of the game, 2 copies of this game have been donated. One is a physical copy, and that will be for US/Canadian entrants only. And the other is a digital copy. Obviously, if the 2 winners that we receive are both outside of the US and Canada, then they will both be digital copies. But in order to be in with a chance, you just simply write *enter into the chat. And you will be entered into our wonderful giveaway. And I'm just waiting for someone to try it and for it to not work. Hey, it worked. Thank you,
It works!
Rubot.
Yay!
I had a moment there. I had a little moment where it was entered and then nothing happened, and I was like, "Please hold." No,
the
it is working.
suspense.
Fantastic. There is a little cooldown period, so if lots of people write it, don't be alarmed if it doesn't seem to say you've added an entry, because it has like a little Moobot has a little cooldown period, and that's completely normal. So it should tell you how many total entries are when it's working. But yes, please feel free to type in and enter that. With that be, are we ready? Are we ready for this?
I think we are. I think we might be ready.
I don't think that there's anything else I need to cover. I have said about the giveaway. This is normally the point where I'm like, I've forgotten something.
Right.
Cool then. So with that said, let us get into it.
Let's get into it.
So, once in a small and lonely village that planted its roots far from any other form of civilization, a hunter and a witch fell into a sincere and sweet kind of love, filled with impassioned promises and innocent dreaming. They bonded over their dedication to their respective crafts, their commitment to loyalty, and more than anything, their shared desire to move beyond their home and see the world. The only thing that stood in their way was the sprawling forest on the village's borders. People shook their heads, wide-eyed at the thought of going near it. The forest is dangerous, full of strange magic, and ravenous hunger lives within. Stay here, where you are safe. The witch would try to argue with them. If we face it together, we can fight back against it. But her pleas fell on ears that did not want to listen, and her hunter was heartbroken to see her so unhappy. He wished to make it better. One morning, when the witch woke, he was gone. Frantically rushing to her neighbors, she was met with shaking heads and eyes filled with pity. He went to the forest, alone. He has surely been consumed by the ravenous monster. We tried to tell you. The witch would not be reasoned with. Her resolve was absolute. No, I told you. While this forest and this hungry thing that dwells within continue to exist, it will continue to claim us, one by one. The witch became a seeker that day, preparing and studying and readying herself to enter the forest and seek what lies within, the monster that dwells within the woods. So let's start by introducing ourselves and talking a little bit about the characters that we've created, because we did some character creation before this stream. So, B, let's start with you. You are playing our dweller within the woods. So please tell us a little bit about the dweller that you have, we've kind of come up with.
So
their past.
Oh, Kat, you're mute. Oh, wait,
instinct.
I couldn't hear you. I goofed up my headphones, but I will introduce the dweller. That is why I was like, you muted yourself. No, I'm just a goober. All right. Great intro. The hunter is not a goober, though. The dweller. So when you're creating characters in Token, you can choose a past, 3 features, and an instinct, and some other secret things. But right now, we're just going to introduce the public things. And I have chosen as a past Lost Hunter, which, of course, features ravenous, prowling, and many-eyed. And as an instinct, I seek to recall my most precious memories so that I may return to the world outside.
Someone's quoted you.
Oh my goodness.
Someone quoted you saying, the hunter is not a goober.
Oh, thank you. I'll be here all week.
Classic. Classic quote from Bina. All right then. Let me. Oh no, have I lost it again? I think I have.
Oh no.
I have questions to ask you,
You do.
my dear dweller.
Yes, you do.
So
Let me
let's
get
that
to
up.
Yeah.
As the dweller, you have heard or may know some things about the seeker. So, what called the seeker to a life of danger?
The forest has whispered to me that the seeker has been called to a life of danger due to to seek revenge for a lifetime of injustices.
Ooh. All right.
Yes.
And why was the seeker once declared a hero?
They were chosen by the elders as the one to restore hope.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Yes.
And how is the seeker vulnerable in the wild?
I have heard them carelessly traveling, leaving tracks uncovered.
What? No. No, what you talking about?
And to be clear, these three things may not be true.
They may
This is
or
just
may
what
not
I
be
have heard.
true. We don't know. This is
Yes.
just what we know of each other. Have I lost it, Kat? Did you ever really have it? Well, that's rude. That's rude. All right.
Amazing.
Okay, so then I guess I shall take the opportunity to talk a little bit about my seeker.
Please do.
So I have chosen the past of unsolved mysteries, which gives me a level of skill in investigation, which I'm certain will be useful in this case. I have 3 things that have formed my years. The fact that I am a lover gives me devotion. The fact that I am a monk, and I'm taking this a little bit not quite literally, because I am a witch, so just more like an apprentice, I guess, has given me focus. And being a witch gives me rituals that I may call upon. And my current instinct, and that is something that we will shape and potentially change over the course of the game, but my current instinct is to avenge the death of a loved one, to lay the past to rest. All right.
Now it's my turn to ask you questions.
It is indeed your turn to ask me some questions. Yes.
All right, Seeker. How did you hear that the Dweller gained their monstrous form?
I have heard that the Dweller gained their monstrous form by killing the previous Dweller.
Ooh.
That's
All right.
That's what they say.
Why is the Dweller so feared?
They are feared because their ravenous appetite knows no bounds.
Ooh, delicious. And what signs show that the Dweller is near?
There are many subtle and strange signs that the Dweller may be near. One of which is that strange new plants may sprout overnight.
Oh, I like it. Also, for the record, I'm reading from the physical book that
Look
Gabriel
how
has.
beautiful it is.
Look, it's so gorgeous.
Look, show the inside. The
yes.
layout
Oh
is
my
gorgeous
gosh.
for this
The
game.
layout. Oh my gosh. And the art. The art by Ezra Rose, I believe, is just so beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. I just wanted to show it off.
It is
Absolutely
beautiful. And we are giving
stunning.
it away. Moobot coming
Yes.
in clutch there, reminding us.
Yes.
So just exclamation enter if you want to enter.
This is what you could win. It's so gorgeous. It's so gorgeous.
Thank you for your compliments on the layout. I really appreciate that. I am very new to to overly design, but I'm
Oh,
growing in
oh, Ellie's
confidence with it. I'm
cute.
enjoying it a lot in getting into it. So I'm glad you like it. All right. Well, so we have kind of discovered a little bit about our two characters.
Yes,
So I think now is the time to get into the meat of the game
it is.
itself. So let me see here. Now I believe because I am the seeker that I go first. Is that
Yes,
correct?
that is correct.
That terrifies me. Okay.
You got this.
I
You
will
got
remind
this.
you all as well that I am brand new to this game. B has played this game before, so I will be calling upon B's expertise, and I'm relying on you to be an absolute expert in this.
Oh, I will do something.
You'll try. All right. So let's get that. So yeah, so I go first, and on my turn, I may either search the forest for clues, or face a threat of the forest directly. But first, we need to kind of establish what the area it is that my character has kind of found themselves facing. In this instance, I suppose, as I enter the forest, what do I find? So let's roll some dice.
Yes.
And because we are using, there's a really, really useful section in this book that is essentially a location generator.
It is
and
fabulous.
You roll dice using both a dark dice, a dark die, and a light die, which is a established trophy thing, and you kind of come up with a location, a feature, and a strangeness about it. So let's do that first, shall we?
Yes.
I'm gonna roll 3 dark die and 3 light die and see what I get. All right, so my first thing, the location, is gonna be a 5 and a 1. So it is. Ooh, that's an interesting one. So it's kind of fashioning itself around a coast, which is interesting.
Ooh, okay.
So I guess I've immediately arrived. I will put it more as like a sort of big body of water, perhaps, and sort of some cliff tops around that. Let's see what kind of feature we've got. So that's a 6 and a 2. So an outpost. So I think maybe some kind of like ruined, I'm thinking some kind of like ruined watchtower or almost like lighthouse type vibe, but very like overgrown, almost like something existed here before the forest consumed it, maybe. We'll get into that in a minute. And then the strangeness I have is a 6 and a 5. So, tattered banners. So yeah, definitely I'm feeling like there's some as my character as the seeker sort of enters the forest, our forest has 2 looming threats that reside within. One is a sweet smelling mist which confuses the mind and heightens hunger. And the other is carnivorous wilds. Everything that lives in this forest is hungry, starving, in fact. But as my character, how much my character knows of that is a different story. But as she kind of wanders into this forest, these mists kind of consume and sort of like swirl around her, and she's momentarily sort of taken in by this strange, it's a sweet, it's almost sickly scent. It's very perfumed, and she kind of wanders with very little purpose, I think, to begin with, as she is more cautious than anything, because she knows this place is dangerous. She doesn't know really how imminent the danger is necessarily, so she's like very on guard. And as the mists kind of part, she finds that she almost sort of steps off of a cliff. Had completely like shrouded this area, but she steadies herself and looks around, and sort of stretching out in front of her as far as the eye can see is this very large body of water, like a sort of a lake that sparkles. And even though there's very little sunlight kind of getting in with the looming trees, it sparkles in a sort of iridescence. It almost kind of picks up very unnatural colors. Nearby is some ruin of a structure. It's half crumbled at this point, and she can kind of see within. She can see that there was a couple of floors to it. Looks like some kind of watchtower, or something, but there's some kind of light attached to the top, that she thinks possibly could have been used to, once upon a time usher in boats on this body of water. And there are banners there, and I think the thing that would strike her as odd is she does not understand or know what the symbols are on the banners. Certainly not at first glance. She's looking at them and they're kind of tattered and torn. She would need to go a bit closer to really understand what was going on, but she doesn't remember or cannot recall anything within her small village that speaks to the symbolism, or what this structure could be. With that being said, I now choose what I want to do. I think to begin with, my seeker has come in a little wary, and wants to try to establish what is going on. She has a purpose in mind, but she needs to start to figure out how she's going to attempt to find this monster that dwells within this forest. Yes. So I think that she's going to search the forest for clues.
Fabulous. Before you do that, I ask you an exploration question.
Oh, please do.
Yes.
Please do. Tell me.
Yes. And I roll, so this is a table you roll on, one light die and one dark die, like all trophy games. Yep. And it's a two-parter. And so what about this place hints at the right path? And why do you linger just a little while in wonder?
Ooh. Okay, well, so I think, what about this place hints at the right path? Yes. I think as she had been walking through the forest initially, there was no path. There was no like seemed to be anything that actually denoted that people walked through here or used this as any kind of route. So she was just kind of wondering, waiting for something to be interesting, and this is the first thing that has been notable. I think it's just been endless trees and mist for so long, and now suddenly this is something that resembles a landmark, or resembles something new and different, some trace of humanity, instead of just the wilds. So she's kind of very attached to this place immediately, because I feel like my seeker goes a lot off of vibes. And it's just like, you know what, this feels like a sign.
Love it. She's just vibing.
And there does seem to be, because perhaps this is a remnant of some civilization, there does seem to be some kind of it looks like a road that leads along the side of this body of water, and it's the first sign of something that indicates a direction that that she's found. And the other question was, what makes me linger?
Yes, a while in wonder.
And what a while in wonder. I think it is the banners. I think it's the not knowing what the symbols are, not recognizing the heraldry, the symbols on them. They denote something that is not her village. And as she really tries to think back in, because the village is very thorough in teaching, the history and the places around, and nothing about this is recognizable. And she thinks back to her time spent with her lost love, and how they would imagine places beyond the village, towns, cities, seas. And it almost just for a second, as she looks at this body of water, she just thinks on this, and she's just like, this looks exactly like what we imagined. Maybe overgrown and corrupted and crumbling in some way, but we did imagine a lighthouse looking over a long stretch of water, because we had read books about what the sea looks like. And so I think this is what makes her linger. This is something that, whether it's the forest playing tricks on her, this is something that reminds her of her lost hunter, and their conversations together. So I now roll a light die, because I am currently trying to seek this monster, and I'm trying to find my answers. So I also get to add a light die if I am using a relevant skill, which I think I think I'm doing a lot of investigating right now.
Yes.
Yes. I don't imagine that she's being very shy or cautious at this point. Like, she's found something, and she's a very focused individual. The moment that she hones in on something, she's, caution might go a little out of the window, and she kind of goes to this tower, and she's really trying to analyze and find some sign. If this looks like this place that we imagined together, then perhaps he's here, perhaps something remains of him. So she is using all of her investigative skills and her focus on this area. And so I will add another light die for a relevant skill. I think for now I don't have any scars, and I'm not going to invoke a charm this time around. I think we're just beginning, so I'm going to just roll 2 light die and see where that gets me, I guess. So let me roll those now. Oh, okay. So I have rolled a 5, which is I do gain a token. So it's a partial success. I do gain a token, but I do encounter something dreadful, and the forest gains a token too, most likely because of my recklessness in this moment. So let's update the board. And is it that you get to tell me what the something dreadful is that yes. When I encounter something dreadful, the other player introduces a narrative complication. So please go ahead, tell me what awful thing I find.
Yes. So I think actually you go up to you find yourself going up to the top of this tower, and it seems like you're going away from the mist, and you're searching through this, looking for a token, and you do find a token. And you're going to get to narrate what this means to you, but it is a half of a locket, a half of a golden locket. And as you're picking it up, and you turn it over in your hands, you don't notice the mist rising with you up into the tower, and it almost starts to engulf you. And this mist that we have crafted, it heightens your hunger, it heightens your recklessness. Because you found something, you've succeeded. So now you're hungry for more.
Yes.
And you're caring less and less what the cost is.
All right. Well, I think then that this locket, this half a locket, is half a locket that belonged to my lost hunter. And I have the other half. And I have it with me. And I think finding it here, sort of almost, it's been dropped on, it doesn't seem to have been, no, I think it looks like it has been placed carefully amongst sort of various other strange brickbat, almost like, it almost seems like someone has been here recently. And I think looking at it, it sort of raises this sense of hope within me, because someone has been here recently and this locket is here, and my mind cannot help but want for that person that has placed this to be my hunter.
Yes.
So I sort of place it, I sort of take it carefully, and I look around for any other signs. My love was a hunter, and so I think that he taught me things, how to track things, how to look for signs of how recent disturbances are, and I think that I sort of look around desperately for any sign that he might have been here. And in that process, I become sort of engulfed in this mist, and this mist plays with my mind and makes me hunger for more of those answers and more of that kind of that sort of that thirst for like knowledge and more understanding of what's happening.
Nice.
All right. So, check for scars. If a dark die, so I didn't have any dark die, so I don't gain a scar. Is that correct?
That is correct. And you didn't fail that completely. It was a mixed success.
It's a mixed success. There's no failure. Okay. For now, I think, is that my go over then?
Yes.
So I've sort of found this thing, and I've become a little lost in the mist, and we will move away from me, and we will move over to our dweller. Tell me, dweller, what are you doing? Where are you, first of all?
Well, I'm definitely not where you are, and we are actually going to roll and see where I'm at, because, well, it's we're at opposite sides of the woods, it seems. And let's see what we have rolled. We've got I can read things, I swear. All right, so we've got
You can.
a hill is the landscape, and I imagine this is a hill. I imagine this is far on the other side of the forest.
Mm-hmm.
And with the features, let's see, a tomb. Embedded in the hillside. And what high strangeness have we found here? Surrounded by broken wagons. I imagine this place is an abandoned tomb that I have. Yes, a whom. Thank you. A hill tomb. Hilm.
We're gonna get
we'll workshop it. We'll workshop it.
Of this from Jen.
And I've sort of made my home here. It's an abandoned tomb filled with the bones of the long forgotten. And the wagons here belong to people whose names are lost to history. And it feels rather safe. But I sense a disturbance rippling through the forest. The mist moves in a way I don't recognize, and I can just smell it on the wind. Someone is here seeking me, and I will seek them back. And so I am going to also do the reflection roll and search for clues. And let's see, a light die for seeking the other, which is, of course, we have that default light die. And then I'll add a light die for using a relevant skill, or a dark die if invoking a scar or charm. I have, as a lost hunter as a past, I have tracking as a skill, and I am absolutely going to use that.
Track away.
Yes, I'm going to track. And I think it would be interesting to see if we can use a charm as well here.
So from what I can see, you choose one of the following. So you either choose to add another light die or a dark
Ooh,
die.
yes, you're right. My bad. We're gonna use 2 light die then. That would make a lot more sense. Look at you! You absolutely got the game better than I. All right, let's roll, baby. All right, we have, and let's see. I can't remember if we add it. Yes, roll dice. Look for the highest result. We have a 5. Which is very, very dangerous because the forest has also gained another token.
Oh no, we're in such a bad spot right now.
Yes, one of us may have to do a challenge roll.
I think it's gonna be me, isn't
it?
Yes,
yes, maybe both of us. All right. So let's see if we can. Now, I don't know how you highlight these. Let's see. On your fancy board.
Okay. Let me. I can do it.
Fabulous.
So, you have gained, same as me. You have gained a token, but the forest has as well. Yes.
Yes. Absolutely.
Let's do it. Oh no.
All right.
Can you imagine if the forest consumes us in just half an hour of this game?
Oh my god, that would. I feel like we'd have to do a second game just to give the people what they want.
Give the people what they're after.
Right, that's so short. All right. So, tell me what I find.
All right. So you are in the Van Hill. So you are looking for a sign of where I am, and I think you are using your tracking. I think you kind of sniff the air. I think that's what it is. It's the scent. And as you kind of close your eyes and sort of smell, you can smell the smell of the forest, that strong, sickly sweet scent of the fog. And then the various sort of flora and fauna, it's like a mulchy, mossy, muddy smell, and you're used to those. But the other scent is one that stirs something within you. I think it's one that you don't feel like you recognize. You don't know what it is. It's a stranger here in these woods, but somehow it feels familiar to you. And it is intoxicatingly good. Like, it is a scent that you immediately feel that hunger within you as you smell it. You, I think, also maybe pin your ears back and listen to those same winds. The forest is, of course, your friend, and will guide you and aid you in any way. So you listen to what the forest has to tell you, and you hear a woman's voice muttering, maybe crying, or some level of emotional distress, and the hint of some song that again you just, there's humming, but you just hear it and you know that you know this song, and it soothes your soul in a way that makes you even hungrier.
Oh, delicious. And what happens with the forest? Do you want me to narrate? Do you want me to narrate what that means to me first before?
Yeah, go do that,
Fabulous.
and then we'll see what the forest does.
Fabulous. This scent and this song, I don't remember a lot from before this, just faint ghosts of memories, but this brings back a very specific one of a woman I recognize, and we're sitting at the edge of a lake, and she's humming, and the breeze blows towards me, and I can smell the perfume from her hair, and I feel safe. And that's all. And I want to chase that feeling before it goes away again.
I love that. I think at this point the forest is very excited. It seeks hunger, and it has found two very hungry individuals to play with. I think around you, as you kind of begin to sort of work your way and follow this trail on the wind, around you the flora and fauna begin to stir. The bugs sort of in the ground kind of come up, and you can hear alongside all of this, they are beginning to follow as well. They follow alongside you. They bare their teeth a little. Your hunger excites them, and they hunger for it also. And I think that is the danger of the forest is starting to really come alive at this point. I feel like the slightly more carnivorous aspect of the forest is starting to show itself.
Yes. I love this as a player, obviously.
Less so. Less so as our characters.
Yeah, less so as the dweller. Fabulous. Well, I believe that is my turn. And so, we are back to you.
We are back to this poor seeker who has become lost in this mist, or has become sort of hungry and infatuated by it. I think she looks up and suddenly realizes how her vision is obscured. She has very much taught herself to make sure that all of her senses are in check. So that the first sign that you might be at a disadvantage is that something is off with one of your senses, whether it is that you can't see very well in front of you, or suddenly everything has gone silent, or you feel numb, you feel cold, you feel like you can't feel anything. That's the sign that something is not right. That is what the elders in the village sort of taught her about the forest, and her mentor that she studied her witchcraft under taught her to make sure that she could see, hear, smell, touch everything, that everything seemed normal. And it's only as she's kind of engrossed and she kind of looks up and around that she does realize it is off. Everything has gone very silent. The mist seems to have closed in, and she could see as far as the eye could see with the lake before, now she can barely see the edge of it. And she realizes that something is wrong. And I think that she will challenge the forest. She's not afraid. That's one thing that she made sure to not be when she came in here. So she's I'm I'm going to say that I will add for my challenge roll a light die for using the relevant skill, I think, of rituals. I think that at this point she's realizing she's in danger of some kind. She's not entirely sure what. Things are being hidden from her, so she's using a ritual that will reveal what is hidden, reveal secrets, reveal like what is this forest trying to hide from me? What is it trying to obscure? So she sort of starts to delve into her pack and hurriedly kind of chant and try to get this ritual going. So there'll be a light die for that. A dark die if invoking a scar or charm. Well, no scars as it is. And a dark die if risking your body or mind. I think that I might, for the sake of trying to hopefully bring down the level of danger from the forest, I'm going to add a dark die and I'm going to invoke a charm. So let me just find the list of charms for a moment.
Yes, there's a lovely list of charms for the Seeker and the Dweller. We have an
amazing list of charms. And I really love these because they're so vague that you can really make them how you want to make them. I think that I'm going to use the path charm to attempt to find a way out of this mist and back on the path that I am supposed to be following. I sort of grab this locket. I sort of tuck it into my pocket alongside my own, the pocket that's just right by my heart. And I had to think then. I was like, is this the side that my heart is on? Who am I? The mist is completely obscure.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
So yes, I'm going to invoke a charm. So that will be me adding a dark die.
Yes. And Gabriel has spoken. The writer himself has spoken. The dark die is always worth it.
The dark die is always worth it. Absolutely. And I'm very excited. Hello, Gabriel, by the way. So yeah, I'm gonna add a dark die. Do I want to put myself? I think I might just go all in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm always going to encourage that.
And say that as I kind of move down from this tower that I had sort of climbed up into, what was left of its remains, this mist, I can barely see where I'm going. The only area that I can see is right along the edge of the cliff top. And one wrong step could see me tumbling into the water below. So I am putting my body at risk, I think, while I kind of try to get this going and get the path to kind of reveal itself to me. Hopefully I can get it done in time before I find myself in a pickle, as it were. So let me put another dark die in. And let's roll and see where I'm at. I rolled a 6, but it is a dark die.
Oh my gosh!
Yes. So okay, let's go through what this means. So the 6 means that I succeed.
Yes.
First, yes.
The forest loses a token.
The forest does lose a token. I've succeeded in the forest being sort of shy away, and I think that what that looks like. Let me just find the play mat so that I can take that forest token down. Be gone, forest. As I sort of make my way down this tower, and the only area that is not obscure to me is this sort of along this cliff. I sort of find my way balancing very precariously. I keep drawing on that focus that I have been well practiced to do, and I manage to remind myself of the exact incantation and the exact energy that I need to draw from. And as I complete the ritual, the mist itself begins to part with this very strange sort of hissing sound, almost as if it's recoiling in frustration or anger. I can feel that. I can feel its frustration as I do that. And it not only is forced to part for me, but it is forced to part in such a way that it begins to lead me towards my destination, where I want to go, which is, of course, towards the dweller of the forest. So as far as my character is concerned, I have brought this forest to heal for now, and you will do as I say, not what you want. Now let me remind myself what the fact that it's a dark die means.
You also get a scar.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, perhaps we could say, because scars. So the best thing about scars in this game, they represent like a toll taken on the character. It could be sort of a physical condition, but it could also be like a more like emotional reaction. And I think that's my I think I'm going to go for a more emotional reaction in this. I'm still kind of recovering from what I found, and I think that my countenance has become somewhat desperate. I have desperately pushed this back, but I'm now there's clear that there's vulnerability there, and that I might have brought the forest to heal for now, but it knows that I have weaknesses. It knows that I am reckless, and it knows that it might get another opportunity at any point to take advantage of me. So let's put my scar up so that everyone can see it.
Okay. And yes, I agree with whoever in the chat said this is a fabulous way to track this. It's such a cool way to track what's going on.
I literally made this like probably within like an hour, but I just really enjoy like visual. I need visual.
Same.
I need to be able to see it in front of me. Yeah, and thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Maybe I should like make something like this for people to use and stuff. That could be
you should. Yes.
Okay, is that it? Is that all that happens to me?
I believe yes. I believe so. And so throughout this, we can also ask each other questions, sort of in between these places. And I think I'm going to ask you one now because you just gained a scar from your desperation, and
go for it.
I'm really interested. So, let's see. What still has the power to stir hope within you?
Ooh. Well, I think that we've seen a little bit of it. I think that when my character came into this forest, so many people around her from that very first morning when she woke and her love was no longer by her side. They told her he'd gone into the forest and that he was gone. There was no hope. There was no rallying. Let's all go in the forest and try and find him, or perhaps he'll come back. Or no one offered that to her. They just told her, no, sorry, that's it. He's gone into the forest. There's no way that we'll ever see him again. He's dead. And I think that what that has done, it is not allowed her to grieve properly, because she has been constantly trapped in this state of, on some days, just her heart completely hardened and just knowing that he's no longer there. But something has always called to her from this forest. Every day she's woken up and just stared out at the trees, knowing that the answer is in that forest. She just wants to know the answer. She just wants closure, I guess. She has had no closure. So I think what gives her hope is any sign that he has existed in this space. When someone just vanishes like that, you can't reckon with that idea, that they can just 1 second be there and the next be gone. So any sign that he has existed, that he has sort of been in a place, that has immediately lit this hope, which she came into this forest telling herself that she was not to fall prey to. But the moment that she saw that locket, the hope immediately bloomed, and she's probably pretty angry at herself about it, to be honest. But because she's so frightened that she's just setting herself up for disappointment, and that the closure is going to be the kind of closure that she really doesn't want.
Oh, that is delicious. That is delicious.
Shall I ask you a question?
You are welcome to. We can do this little nice narrative.
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that as you're running to find what's going on. So,
yes.
Questions.
Yes, these are called key questions, and they're yes. I was like, I realized there's a lot of different kinds of questions in this game.
I know, and I've just immediately been like, here we go, key questions. Oh no, I haven't found it.
That is absolutely okay.
Fine.
It is fine.
All right. It is like, because there's key questions for each of us, isn't there?
Yes, and I got yours off of your Seeker page, so like
yes. So I'm gonna find your one. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I found it, everyone. I'm doing good. I'm so good at this. Okay. I would like to know, how does the dweller feel that this place either protects or traps them?
Ooh, I think it's both. I think this place at first felt like a prison, like a cage, but also you're safe in a cage. Mm-hmm. And this place, it has grown up around him in a way that feels very protective. He feels a part of it. And the longer he's a part of it, the less a part of the rest of the world he is. And the rest of the world wants to hunt the things here. They want to hurt the things here. And he is one of the things. Mm-hmm. And it protects him from that. But deep down, he knows it's a sort of selfish kind of protection. Not because it has the capacity to care about him, mm-hmm. but because it has a sense of self-preservation. Mm-hmm. And he is also protecting it in turn.
Mm-hmm. It's a shaky deal.
Yes, it's a very shaky deal. It's not
It's
a
a
great
very
one.
shaky deal out here.
It's not great. And speaking of, I think I am also I
Might
think
be your go.
I think it is my go, and I think I will also be doing a challenge roll because of the things that have come up around me. And I think
Okay.
I think in the context of a challenge roll for a thing that is a part of the forest is
Mhm.
that sort of like the way a pack of dogs keeps each other in check,
I was
you
thinking
know?
that the sort of as that it's sort of like it's spurring you on, but
Yes.
it's also like it's partly attacking you as well because you're
Yes.
giving into this weird sensation that you want to get to this thing that feels safe and that it might be safer. So it's
Yeah.
almost like the forest is going, yeah, I'll get you over there, because I want you to find it. But also, don't forget that your loyalty and your allegiance is to me, not to
Yes.
anything else. So these animals, they're kind of like swarming around you, and they're kind of like in front and sort of half leading the way, half following behind. But they're also nipping at your heels. They're also occasionally birds are swooping in and sort of like pecking at you to remind you of your place in some sense.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I love it. And so I'm definitely going to and it is sort of like nipping back at them to keep them
Mhm.
in check. And so when we're rolling a challenge roll, reminding myself a light die for using a relevant skill.
Mhm.
And I think what I'm going to be doing is trying to evade them.
Okay.
And so I'm going to be using prowling, which is a stealth skill.
Yes.
And
Love it.
I am going to invoke a charm because obviously. And one of the
Do
dweller
everything.
everything, let's do everything. And I think one of the dweller charms I'm going to use is labyrinth, which is warp the environment into a maze that surrounds you.
Yes.
And it
You're going to
will
confuse the
yes.
forest back.
Yes,
I love it.
exactly. And I'm not sure if this can be actually risking my body or mind. I'm not sure I can actually justify that as of yet unless these things are really really after me. Maybe if I don't succeed, they will
Well,
attempt to devour me.
I guess the question is whether I mean, so you're able to kind of, what do you imagine this warping the labyrinth? Are you attempting to kind of like shape the forest to your whim, I guess?
Yes.
Are you likely to, should you fail, are you likely to maybe become lost yourself in
Hmm.
if it's becoming a labyrinth, if it's becoming a maze, that's great for losing others. It's also a fantastic way of getting yourself lost, and that could be very frustrating when you're trying to follow a sense, and especially if the forest sort of realizes what you're doing, or you fail to bring it to heel, then it might purposefully misguide you,
Yes.
and
Ooh.
kind of throw you off the scent that you're so desperate to follow. So that's possible.
Oh, delicious. I think that is absolutely possible, especially the way I envision this labyrinth coming up from the ground as earth and roots forming a wall, like a very tight wall around you. So we will roll this. Let's see what
Mm-hmm.
happens.
Let's
That
do it.
is a 4. A
A
success with a
4.
complication. It is a light
So
die that's the 4, though, so I don't get a
amazing. So we
scar.
do remove a token from the forest pool,
Yes, we do.
which
And
thank goodness.
yes.
Quite
Thank God.
frankly.
Whew! We promised you all a game, and I think if the Forest winning within 30 minutes might not have been good.
It would have been great. We could have just told a story of what we wanted to happen.
Yeah, we'll just narrate the rest of it.
Narrate, and it was all a dream. All right. There's success with a complication, yes.
Yes.
So do remove a token from the forest pool.
Mhm.
The complication, I guess that's something that I get to tell you what that is. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. So first, tell me what your success looks like.
The success looks like the earth and the trees sort of warping around the dweller and blocking off some of the other creatures that were nipping at his heels, and it starts to form a path through the forest that he hopes is towards the scent that he's trying to follow. And it's darker in here. It's much darker even than the forest itself, in this weird labyrinthine, almost tunnel that he has carved.
All right. So I think you succeed in losing and calming a good amount of the flora and the fauna that were kind of getting a bit excited along with you. I think as the earth sort of twists around, sort of the various beetles and bugs find themselves kind of carried along with it, and almost sort of like trapped and unable to move. They're kind of like their legs sort of like moving helplessly, as it were, as they attempt to come after you, but they're unable to. And the various like animals alongside and plants find themselves ripped from their roots, and they form this sort of labyrinthine structure. The complication that comes with that, you can now move through this, and the forest is calmed. I think you find that as the forest is calmed, so has the wind that brought the scent and the sound to you. And while perhaps you are getting the odd glimpse of it, it's no longer strong. It's no longer something that you can easily follow and easily latch onto. You may have to find some other way of beginning to really tap into some of those memories of being able to track and being able to, because you know that you can do this, and sort of in your form as you are, you've been really relying on your hearing and your sense of smell and your sight. But now everything has calmed, the wind has calmed down, and the sky overhead has gotten a little darker, and it's very difficult to use those like sort of instinctual tracking abilities. You might have to go for something a little bit more outside the box.
I love it. Fabulous.
All right. Let's see. We are about quarter to the hour now. How about we take a little break, because we both had a couple of goes, and we'll be gone for about 10-15 minutes from now. And when we come back, we shall continue on our adventure and see if we can meet up. I don't know. Yeah, so we'll be back in about 10-15 minutes. Everyone, there is still plenty of time to enter the giveaway. I can see people have been entering. That's wonderful.
Yay.
Just a reminder that it is for one copy, a physical copy of token, which is the one I will be drawing first, and a digital copy of token, which has been kindly donated by Gabriel of Glowing Root Press. So thank you very much for that. We really appreciate it. And yeah, we will see you in about 10 or 15 minutes, guys. We're gonna go and get a drink and some snacks and stretch our legs and things. And we will continue to wander in the woods. So, see you soon.
See you soon.
Hello, we have returned. So it just felt like we needed the drama because of the outfits, and I've put the hood back
It
up.
feels very dramatic.
It's very dramatic. We have returned, everyone. For those of you that might have joined a bit later or maybe a bit lost and confused in the forest like we currently are, we are playing a game of Token as part of this is the first of my 2-player spotlight streams that I'm going to be running all the way through February, and I'm doing lots of different duet games, and this is the very first one, and it's been an absolute blast so far. What a way to kick it off. We are currently playing Token, and we have called it The Monster in the Woods. We are dressed appropriately. You can probably all figure out what fairy tale we have drawn inspiration from.
Just a little.
Meet cute in trophy. I love it. Yes. First thing we need to address. Hello again, Gabriel. Gabriel has shouted out about the wonderful bees' awesome supplement. And is desperately trying to link it. I'm gonna do it because I think that I have links turned off to try to avoid spam. So I'll need to look at that setting. I apologize, because you're just trying to do a nice thing, and I've totally ruined it.
Oh my gosh, you're so sweet, Gabriel. Thank you. And for the folks asking about this, it's gloves with fake nails on them.
No, this is these actual hands.
Yeah, this is actually just what I look like. Every other stream
Very
I've been done up.
Draw attention to it.
How dare you?
All right. So welcome back. Our characters are lost.
So lost.
Very lost in the forest. Trying to find their way to each other. We're not sure what will happen when they arrive at that place at the moment. But as you can see, we have made some progress, but it's not been without its consequences. And we're very excited to get back into this game. I will remind everyone before we start playing again that we are currently running a giveaway for this game. So you can enter with just !enter, all as one whole unit. I don't know why I'm speaking in weird terms right now. We have 2 winners. One will receive a physical copy, providing that they are based in the US or Canada, and one will receive a digital copy. Failing that, you can also go and purchase it yourself. The physical is at Indie Press Revolution and Exalted Funeral. I have Moobot occasionally reminding people of this thing, and it is a gorgeous book. Here,
gorgeous. Look at it.
My glamorous assistant will. Is it? I'm pointing the wrong way. The glamorous assistant.
There we go. It's so gorgeous. Please get it.
And you can get the digital copy over at Itch. It is. I think it's Glowing Press. glowingpress.itch.io. But again, I have all the details coming up in my Moobot is occasionally when you're all talking, Moobot's like, here, let me throw down some information, some facts for you.
Yes.
So go ahead and check that out, because some exceptionally talented writing to be found over there. And with that said, it is my turn. So I think that what I'm going to do first, I'm going to roll a new place, a new location.
Yes.
For us, or for my character to have, they've been following the mist now, they've been following their path spell for quite some time. And my character has now arrived elsewhere. So let me do exactly what I did before and roll 3 dark and 3 light, and then I will create a place. All right. Wow, all 3 light die were 4s, which is quite incredible. Now I need to. Goodness gravy. Oh, here we go. I found it. Okay,
Yay!
so a
Goodness
4
gravy is a
4 a 4 4
fabulous quote.
is a field. So we're in a field.
Ooh.
A 5 4, the feature, the defining feature is a campsite.
Oh.
You know who this could be?
Oh yeah, I do.
The 5 4 for the strangeness that I find here. What could it possibly be?
Gosh.
Oh, this is almost sad. Scraps of
please.
clothing.
Oh
Oh
my
no.
gosh. Oh my god.
No.
Oh my gosh.
I know exactly what this is gonna be. Now my
and you know I have to. Oh, go ahead.
Already taken a scar for this sort of like desperate hope that has bloomed within them. And I think having controlled the mist and told it lead me to where I'm supposed to go. It has, the forest has been brought to heel, but it is not without its vengeful nature. And I think it has taken me to my lover's campsite, where they camped out in the woods at some point. I recognize immediately almost everything about the way this has been set up. When the hunter and I would go out and we would occasionally go camping. We're very outdoorsy people. We're a witch and a hunter. It's an outdoorsy couple, I think.
We're one of those
we
hiking
go
couples.
camping and sort of like, sleep under the stars, and cook good food and tell stories and have fun. And he was very particular, always very particular about the way he would set up the camp, the way that he would ensure that we would know if there were creatures in the vicinity, and it looks immaculately like how that would be. He was very cautious, very like there were traps and things around to stop us being attacked. Sadly though, this doesn't seem to have stopped whatever happened here. The campsite looks immaculate, but on the floor, sort of not 10 steps away from the tent, is my hunter's ripped shirt and clothing. I'm gonna go ahead and say that it possibly got some blood on it. And oh man, I think that what she would do now, she can feel the hope fading fast, but she's still in that sort of in between phase of like, well, I found something. There's got to be something here. Can I tell how recent this was? Has he been living here and only now something has happened? Like, could I still save him? Is what her thoughts will be thinking. So I think that she will go ahead and search for some more clues. That's going to be, we're going to do a reflection roll. And then I think depending on how this goes, we'll decide what happens next.
Yes.
I'm going to go ahead and make a reflection roll. So let me do that. Remind myself what I'm doing. So gonna automatically get a light die. Relevant skill. I think I'm gonna call in my devotion on this one. I'm gonna say my devotion to finding my devotion to not giving up, even when all of the signs point to the obvious. And I think that this is what has defined my witch for the last year before I've come into this forest after my hunter disappeared. Every day the villagers told me, he's dead, he's gone, move on. And every day I devoted myself to getting ready to coming into this forest to come to find him. And I think that still, even now, even though all the evidence points towards, something terrible happened here and he's dead, he's gone, something got him, I'm still devoted. I'm still looking. I will not have my answer until I know for certain. And so I'm going to add a light die for devotion. And I'm in a desperate, I've got a scar that I could invoke. How does that work if I invoke a scar?
So let's see. Let me double check. It
Uh,
might be one or it might be one or the other for the reflection roll.
yes, no, you're right. It is one or the other. So,
Yes. Which you find the most interesting?
I think I'm going to stick with what I said then. I'm going to go with 2 light die.
I think that's very
because
fair.
I have a plan.
Yes.
If this goes wrong. So I'm going to go with 2 light die and use my devotion. So let's do that and roll it and see where we end up. A 5.
Okay.
So I do succeed. I'm going to find some token, something that will give me some answer. I'm also gonna find a complication or something. So, and that's what you get to decide for me.
Yes.
So let me see. I think that what success looks like for my seeker is being able to, even if it's just for this moment, where I root through his belongings that he's left behind, where I study every bloodied scrap of clothing that I find. I look for tracks. I think it's just being able to hold it together while I do that and find that inner strength that I've been drawing on for a year. I think that is what success looks like, in the sense that for this search, I can do that. What I potentially find,
yes.
Do you have ideas for that?
Yes, because I get to narrate what you find, and then you narrate what it means to you.
Yes. Okay. So please tell me what I find.
I think you find actually something you gave to him. And it's a little charm, like a little protective charm that you have carved for him. And it's left, just you find it while you're digging through the clothes, and it is perfectly intact, maybe a little blood splattered, but it is still there.
Yep. Okay. The forest is also going to gain a token, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is. Okay. So I find this protective charm. I think that the complication, and I think that what I see in this is while everything is in perfect order and everything like that, the charm, it's not with the clothing.
Okay.
I think it's left in the tent. I think it looks carelessly discarded. It looks like it doesn't look like it looks like it's been forgotten, or it's been like it no thought was given to it and the importance of what it means. And I think that what it means is, on the one hand, it reminds me so much of the look on his face when I gave it to him, of just sort of like that happiness that someone would care for him so much and want to protect him, that they would put so much of themselves into into creating this, and it's at total odds with finding it so carelessly cast aside, that it makes me wonder for a moment. I think the complication that arises is that it does something to my emotional state, because I have lived the last year with so much devotion and so much hope, and I have strived and worked hard to find and prepare myself for this, and to see that they did not take the same precaution and place the same value over their life, and did not trust in my charm enough to think that they might need it in such a dangerous place like this. Like, they became almost arrogant, or they became careless or reckless, and that is not what I'm used to with my love. So it completely throws my emotions, and it makes me question whether I knew them at all, or whether the way that I remember them is exactly how they actually were. How were they when they weren't around me? I remember their face and how excited when I gave it to them. But were they actually excited, or was it that there's some pretense or falsehoods there? I think it makes my character start to ask even more questions. Yes. Because I've come here and he didn't even bother wearing his charm. Like, that's a problem. And I think it's going to make my character do something a little reckless. And this is where the complication comes in. The forest has just gained a token, but I think that I have become impatient. I want my answers, and I'm so tired of there being more and more questions. And I think I'm going to try to entice the creature, the hunger, the danger, I guess, to come to me, because I'm so done. Like, I just want to know. Like, I want to face whatever this thing is, and I want to say, what did you do with him? And tell me that you did something to him that made him put that aside, rather than that he did that himself. Like, tell me what happened to him. I want to know. Yes. And if you know where he is, tell me where I'll find him. Like, that's it.
Yes. Oh, delightful.
So okay, right. So now I have to read what I do with that.
Yes.
So I would like to offer an enticement. So I guess I'm offering the token that I've just gained.
Yes. You describe what you leave to entice the other. And when the enticement is accepted, the forest also gains a token, and each player describes how it grows in power or reacts. And finally, after an enticement is resolved, each player asks the other a key question.
Okay. I think that, so I've heard that this creature is somewhat of a gardener. And that when it's around, or when it's near, or when it's left its presence, strange, it seems to have some connection with the flora within this forest, like strange plants grow and things like that when it's around. So I take out a packet of seeds that I brought with me, and I plant something that is completely alien and completely foreign to this forest, something that does not belong here, it's not something that the forest would recognize, and it's not something that this creature, should it be looking for me, which I'm fairly certain it is, it would not recognize it either. I want to make myself more findable, so I'm essentially sending a smoke signal, but in the way that a forest might understand, which is its ecosystem. It would understand its own ecosystem. I plant seeds, I chant little rituals to kind of like promote growth, and I can see them sort of start to sprout. And I take a jar of small ants that don't live in this forest. They're actually famed for just kind of like keeping very far away from it, and I just let them free. And I allow the forest I allow the forest to understand that I've brought something from the outside world into the forest, and hopefully that's an enticement that you will accept.
Yes, and since you've offered a token, you can heal your scar.
Okay, lovely.
Which is fabulous. And I do accept it.
Hey.
Because I think I see it, I smell it before I see it, of course, because it's flora, it's new flora, but I vaguely recognize it. There's something familiar about it, and there's just a little bit of a flicker of a memory of that same woman I saw by the lake. And she's tending a garden, and these plants are in it. And I'm going to change my instinct from I seek to recall my most precious memories so that I may return to the world outside to I seek to recall my most precious memories so that I may return to my companion outside.
Ooh, this is good. I love it. All right, because that is actually a mechanic that you change your instinct as time goes on, and it kind of changes how the meeting when it happens might go.
Yes.
All right.
So the forest should have 2 tokens, I believe.
Yeah.
Because
okay,
yes.
Yeah, it did have 0, and now
and then we bumped it right back up to 2.
Lovely.
I love it. The tension.
So I have reawakened the forest. I've probably angered it, I would say. introducing these things into it. I think that I have angered it. I've made it very angry. And I think it records. I can see that around me as I sort of plant these things and I kind of introduce these ants. I hear that sort of weird hiss again. And I see that the mist, as beautiful and sweet smelling as it was, suddenly changes. The scent becomes rot for a moment, and I can see it's like it's taking on a form almost just for a moment, and then it disperses, and the roots of the trees begin to move slightly. They wind their way towards me, but they're frightened off by the ants that kind of scurry around them. And I can see everything sort of like reaching for me and then reaching back. It's like a threatening move. It's like oh, am I gonna like when a snake like a snake like rears back and then you're like any second now it's gonna lash out. It's kind of that. I feel that around me.
Yes, and I think that as this mist swirls around you, there is also, you hear a strange noise like a chuff, like a deer does. But when you look up past the mist, it's kind of far away from you. But there is a deer looking at you, but its jaws aren't right.
Oh, that's creepy.
Its teeth aren't right. And as it chuffs again, you see it opens its mouth a little too wide, and it is filled just from one end to the other with razor sharp fangs.
Oh God, that's awful and awesome. All right, so I have called out to you, and I think that I have taken my go. Yes, I am reading this correctly.
Yes, and now we ask each other key questions.
Yes.
One each.
Yes. Let's do it. Do
you want to go first or me? I'm good with what ifs.
Why don't I go first? I'm going to ask you. What, in this moment where you're sort of brought back to this memory, what tender part of you still survives? What tender part of you does it awaken for just this moment as you kind of get lost in this memory?
Oh my goodness. That is fabulous. I think that there is a sort of wildness that this forest breeds in the creatures that exist here, a feralness, a hunger. But this memory feels soft and calm in the same way the other one, it feels safe. And regardless of the dweller's monstrous form, there is something very capable of affection, not just to this person in this memory, but all the creatures around him. It's a softness. It's, as a hunter, you know, that he is this he understands the circle of life and that things die and that things must be eaten, but also that it is important to care for the things around you and recognize that you are a part of it. Just like whoever's seeking him is also a part of this forest, and we are all a part of one great forest. And so there's this flutter of affection to the world around him and the person who is planting these flowers. And so I have a question for you. Yes. What destructive parts of yourself do you repress?
I think that my what my seeker always loved about their hunter was how emotionally vulnerable they were. And I think that my seeker finds that more difficult. Their care comes through sort of like a practiced study. So like even in this, it's almost like a it doesn't come as naturally. It's still there and it still exists, and the hunter always knew that. The hunter always knew that they love them, even if they find it hard to find a way to express that. But I think that what destructive part of me is the emotion within me. I have always felt that I have had to keep it at bay and keep focus and keep on the mission and keep, because otherwise emotions will absolutely tear my character apart. It causes recklessness, it causes it endangers them, and it endangers the mission, and the focus. So like I feel like, you know, when creating sort of like poultices and potions, um never, my mentor was very like, never give in to your frustration. If you're not able to create this ritual, if the magic doesn't go right, don't let it give into your frustration, because it will go wrong again and again and again. You need to take a moment, breathe, try again. And so then that is how the approach to life has been. So I think that what destructive impulse is just the need that I am repressing to feel the grief and the loss, really feel it. Like, so I think that might be what it is.
Oh, delightful. I love it.
All right. Now it is your go.
Yes.
And we are really on like tenterhooks right now.
Yes.
Because everyone has 2 out of 3 tokens.
Yes.
So, what are you going to do?
I am going to first do a challenge roll to push back at the forest that I imagine is reacting poorly to these newly planted flowers, these new things, because it's not it's not going well.
Yeah.
Things have gotten a little spicy over here. And I think since it's riled up all of these things, I am this things that are trying to stop the newly introduced things and bring back this balance. But I want to keep following it. I want to see where this trail leads. So I'm going to use ravenous, which is consumption, and I am going to try to just sort of, it's wild to say, but I'm a monster, so it's fine. I'm
Are you
gonna
gonna
eat
eat
my
it?
way out of the problem.
Yes! Are you gonna eat one of those deer?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. All right. We don't
It's gonna happen.
animal cruelty here, but
Listen, it's essentially like watching a nature show.
yeah.
That's the equivalent. We won't get into deets. It's just
Okay. All right.
don't
All
worry.
right. So,
Yes.
okay.
And let's see. We got one light die for that, and we're gonna see if I we are going to. I don't have a scar, but I can invoke a charm. Let's see. I am not sure. No, I will use one. I will use one because it's wondering what one would work for
Yes.
hunting a creature. And this one I think could be flexible. And this one is called
Yes.
Dread. Dawn a mantle woven of nightmares. And yes, and I think that, well, because of how a lot of animals react that are prey animals to fear,
Yes.
they pause, they freeze.
They freeze. Yes.
They freeze. And so it's a little like spotlighting a deer, but it's fine. And I think that we can if you feel this is justified, risking body and mind, I think if I fail this, I think that it will be a feeding frenzy and I will be in it.
So you might swing a little bit in the other direction.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Two dark die, one light die.
Up the wall.
Let's go.
Go.
Hi,
Let's go.
a fail.
Oh no. Well, you can add a dark die and re-roll.
I am gonna add a dark die and re-roll. Absolutely. So, and we redo the whole dice pool,
so that we know that. So that the
Yes.
for the sake of chat, we roll
Yes.
3
roll
on
a
the
three.
light die. So let's.
Yes.
But we can roll it. We can add a dark die, which comes with its own set of, because obviously it means you're just adding dice, but at the same
Yes.
time, it's going to be a dark dice that probably gives you the good the number that you want, and then that has its own set of consequences.
Yes, and the mechanic here is actually, if you're unhappy with your challenge roll and the highest die was a light die, you may add a dark die to your dice pool and re-roll all of them. You may continue adding die and re-rolling until you're satisfied with the result, or the dark die rolls the highest. And so that's that's the mechanic here that we're playing with. And it's all 2s.
Oh,
I'm not sure how that works.
So it's all 2. So you can. So you're not satisfied with. Oh, because it's all 2s.
Yeah. What is that? I don't know what that means.
I think that if
I
remember correctly, I feel like a dark die supersedes light die, but then
it does.
Because it's the same, I guess we could. I'm happy to rule that you can roll again with another dark die because they all roll the same number.
I do see in the chat though, if it's tied, then it's technically the highest. That's what I thought. So good news.
So you've actually
it's
made
okay.
It worse.
I did make it. Well, yes. Actually, the forest doesn't gain a token, but I do gain a scar. So I kind of did nothing a little bit except to myself.
Right.
we done goof.
So what do you think your scar looks like?
I'm interested to see what you think, because I think it could be physical or emotional, depending upon, because obviously this
It's
is
a
sort of a
failure.
fight.
You try to frighten this forest and sort of
Yes.
like I think that you try to challenge it and almost say with your like ravenous skill, almost say I'm hungrier than you.
Yeah.
And I don't think that the forest was cowed by that at all.
Ooh.
And I do think that it would be physical. I think that you have gone to kind of like, woven this mantle of dread. You try to say, I'm hungrier than you, I'm stronger than you, and what I want supersedes what you want. And I think that you maybe went for one of those deer, and you might have kind of like got it, and then I think three more got you. I think that like it's so enraged right now that the forest is so riled up, and you are overcome with this real horrible stench of rot. And I think like from the fog, and I think that the wound that is caused to you, probably let's say like in your shoulder or in your neck or something like that, I think it begins to sort of like wither slightly. It begins to rot a little bit.
So
and
good.
you can feel like that's painful, like you are rotting around sort of like your neck and your shoulder. Whether that's just a temporary thing, and I think that it's a real display of power as well. They don't try to like rip you apart, they don't try to like, they just clamp and they hold you there until you kind of buckle and say, okay, you are stronger than me, and then they let go.
Oh, that's so good.
All right.
That's so good. Yes. Could you please mark a scar for me?
Yes, I will mark
You're
a scar.
fabulous.
Oh no. Oh
It's-
no.
Things are getting
It
wild.
falls to me.
Yes, it does.
All right. Well, it makes sense, to be honest. My seeker is inundated with this grief, this loss, this frustration at their lover, as well as their longing for their lover. They want these questions answered and they're angry, but then they also want to be able to face them and ask them themselves. I think they don't just it's just, I just really wish that I could see you right now so I could yell at you about discarding this charm. That's kind of where we're at.
Love it.
And I
love
think
it.
the forest is angry and riled up, and there's no sense like, but it's not doing anything. She's waiting and waiting, and she's done this thing that she's like, this is sure to provoke a reaction from this creature, this ravenous hunger, and nothing happens except the forest is just angry now, and it kind of reflects her own mood. And so whereas you were like, I'm hungrier than you, I think she's now going to challenge it and say, I'm angrier than you are.
I love it.
That she's gonna scream at the forest around her, just like if you're gonna do something, like, don't be a coward, do it. Like, I think she's gonna directly challenge it to like attack her or do something to her. She's so tired of this kind of like mind game, this sort of slow seeping, like, oh, let this forest infect you slowly. I think that she just wants it, like, you want to eat me, do something. Like, you're boring me. I think yeah.
Oh man.
So well, okay, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do a challenge. So add a light die for using a relevant skill. Do I have a relevant skill that works in this? I must do.
Focus seems right. Because you're, maybe.
Sorry, say again.
Focus, maybe. I think that would
Focus.
work.
Yeah, I think she's
Yeah.
focused on the mission. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
this
just
is
like she's bringing it back into the focus, but she's focusing her anger at this. She's trying to
yes.
focus her emotions at something to focus it at, because right now it's like I'm angry at him and I'm angry at this and I'm angry at the village and I'm angry at that. Right now she's trying to like put it all together into one big bubble and just throw it at the forest.
Yes.
So we'll go with, yeah, let's do that. Let's go with focus. And then add a dark die if invoking a scar or a charm. I'm absolutely going to do that. I don't have any scars right now because I healed them, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to invoke a charm. So let's have a little look at the charms available to me. This will be fun. I think I'm gonna go with the charm Spark.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna want to light a flame of courage in my heart. Like I'm frightened for my lost love and their fate. And I want to just do the bravest thing that I can right now, which is exactly what I've been telling the villagers to do all this time. Confront this forest that traps us. And politely tell it to fuck off. Politely tell it to fuck off. And so I'm gonna go with Spark as the charm. So that's gonna be a dark die. I've got one light, one dark, and then what's the final thing? Am I risking fit? Absolutely.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
And it might absolutely go, oh yeah, do you know what? You're right. I am stalling. And then just destroy me. So yeah.
Absolutely.
2 dark die. So let's roll 1 light, 2 dark. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Oh, I rolled a 6. Ah, top dark die.
Oh my god!
So I'm gonna get a scar. I'm gonna get a scar, but that's fine.
That's fine.
Let's take one of these forests tokens away.
Yes.
Let's do that quick. And I'm gonna get a scar. Who describes what the scar looks like, or is that just whoever?
I believe generally it's like the active player narrates successes and then the other player narrates like failures, quote unquote. So you narrate what you did right, and then I tell you what the scar is.
Okay, cool. So I think what the success looks like for me, I think it just is. I genuinely think that like there's probably at this camp there's probably weapons at this camp. All the things that could have protected this hunter are just sort of discarded carelessly. That it's like it almost looks like this hunter just sort of like stepped outside and gave themselves to whatever took them. Like it just looks like they've just thrown away everything that could protect them and just let it happen. And I think that she goes and grabs one of these sort of like short swords, or maybe like a spear. A spear. It's a hunter. Let's go with a spear.
Oh yeah.
And I think that she sees this deer that's nearby is still sort of watching from a distance, and she can see these creatures just sort of like in the tree. She can see birds watching her from the branches. She can see sort of these insects kind of burrowing from the ground, and occasionally one will kind of like a butterfly will fly down and will like land on her, and then it will like nip at her, and there'll be like a little bit of blood drawn, but it's all a little. It's still like it's nipping at me. And I want it to bite, or I want it to just shut up. So one or the other. So I think that she just grabs one of these spears, and the way that this charm looks, I think that she kind of just points it at things, and these sort of like almost like sort of bursts of flame just sort of burn through, and they frighten these things away. And I think it's like this light, maybe this sort of like mist has kind of become a little darker, and then it's just sort of like this light sort of like burns its way through, and she just begins to like scream, and like tears begin to roll down her face, as she sort of gives into the emotion of the moment for a bit. And I'll let you decide what my scar is.
All right. I will ask you a question. Physical or emotional, you think? Do you think that any of these things got a hand on her and nipped her, or do you think that
I think emotional. I think
that's what I was
absolutely it's
thinking?
emotional.
Yeah, I would say, you know, mournful. I think this is a sort of grief process almost that
Mm-hmm,
you're trying to go through as you hunt through this forest, and this has forced you to confront it in a way that you haven't before.
mm-hmm.
So I think
I
that's your
agree.
scar right now.
I agree. I absolutely agree. Okay, so we both have one scar each. We're both on two tokens. The forest is on one token.
Yes.
We might this could happen.
Yes. That's what I was about to say. We are on the precipice.
We're on the precipice of something maybe happening.
Yes.
Okay,
And
so I think it's your go now, is it not?
it is. It
Okay.
is. Should we reveal what happened, like how the game is supposed to end mechanically
Yeah,
for
I think
chat?
I think so.
Yeah. Because I saw someone asking what happens if you get 3 scars, and Gabriel is fabulously answering people's questions. You're fabulous.
Yes,
And so
Gabriel. We didn't.
thank
I
you.
promise I didn't hire Gabriel in any way, shape, or form to just be like, "Can you just deal with the mechanical questions so that I can play the game?" This is not what happened.
Yes.
Thank you very much for being here and explaining to people. But yes, let's
Yes.
explain. So we're on a precipice right now where something
Yes.
might happen should we things roll in our favor, right?
Yes.
So yeah, I'll let you because it's your turn.
The game ends when a player gains 3 tokens or scars, or the forest gains 3 tokens. And so that's why we're like this close to ending it. It's no matter who gets 3 tokens or 3 scars, the forest or us, it's there is an epilogue of sorts. This
Mm-hmm.
is we're nearing the end of our story.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to do something that is uh let's see. It's a little unusual, but I know I have a plan. I have a plan.
Oh,
Cuz I know we only have I know we only have one token of the forest, but I'm going to do a challenge roll before I do my other thing.
oh, okay. You're gonna challenge the forest and try and calm it down even more, yes?
Yes,
Okay.
because I can I think I might hear someone in the distance scream, and the forest
Yes.
calms. And I think this is my shot to kind of get it back under control so I can find this person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm actually going to use a different uh a different skill. That's the word. Um yes. And I think actually it's I'm looking for a path that is not obscured by the things in the forest that are trying to stop this. So I'm going to use actually perception from many-eyed,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and let's see if we can get a fun charm in here.
A charm as well. Yes.
A charm, of course. Of course. Let's see. I think this is I kind of like this one. Revelry, which is stir
Ooh.
nearby creatures to frolic with wild abandon. And I think that
Oh.
yes. And I think it to distract them from me and to distract them from whoever this other person is sort of this, you hear this odd call from afar. It almost sounds like a howl. And that's what we're going to do. And I don't think I can actually justify risking body and mind because this is the unless you have an idea.
Well, so I feel bodily harm, maybe not. I don't think bodily harm. The only thing I think of is maybe, you're able to do this because you feel happy, if you feel like you found this person and you're able to project that happiness into the creatures around you for just a moment, and they just stop being like shitty for a bit, and they're just like, oh, I'm really happy.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Like just that full call of like,
that.
I found you. Like, yes. I think I know where you are.
Yes.
Whether that would give you any, I don't know if you could justify.
I'm gonna go with this part. I don't think I can justify it, but I'm cool with rolling with 2 die. I don't think it will. I don't think it'll hinder my plans.
All right.
We got 4 on a right. Oh my gosh. Okay.
4 on a right.
All right. Success with the complication.
Alrighty.
We remove a token from the forest pool. And all right, what's the complication you think?
The complication.
Or should I narrate my success first before you complicate it? Which do you think would be interesting?
Yes.
All right. So, I think that it is exactly, I think, what we described. This feeling of safety and comfort and joy is projected out just momentarily to the creatures in the forest. It ripples out like ripples on a pond from a rock. And it allows the dweller safe passage through this floral path that has grown almost unnaturally through the woods. And it's almost nice. I think that's the part that's what works, is that there is, at least for a brief moment, a clear path.
All right. I think the complication comes from, in your haste to get down this path and follow. The path seems clear, but I think it is actually quite, I think it's like twisted trees and lots of knotted roots. And I think you almost have to sort of like pull yourself through this path. It's almost like, it's like a tunnel of trees to get there. And I think as you get closer and closer, where that injury was, it's starting to hurt more and more. I think something is wrong. It's not just the temporary, like there's something festering there, and what little power the forest has in this moment, it's concentrating it all on causing you as much pain and planting something within that injury to make it a hindrance in some way. So I think that the complication is that you're so close, but you're not quite there yet, because it's holding you back, this injury, and it's tiring you. You're becoming like tired.
Oh, that is fabulous. And it actually is, yes, exactly. And I think as about halfway down the path where I was wanting to go, it is so exhausting. And I remember the song I heard on the wind at the very first whiff of this outsider. And I remember, I think, who sung it. And I'm going to see if it brings the person to me instead. And I'm going to offer you a token.
A token! Okay. Yes. All right. So, token. You are going to. Okay, so you get to heal a scar.
Yes.
And I will accept the token and change my instinct. Does that sound correct?
Yes, that does.
Okay, so how do you think this scar healing? What does that feel or sound like to you?
I think it is almost it almost looks like from the outside succumbing to the forest, because we see the dweller lay down on this patch of flowers and rest. And I think maybe since these aren't regular, these haven't been imbued with magic from
Mm-hmm.
a certain witch, I think that we see them trail up and fill the wound.
Mm-hmm. These could be the flowers that I planted.
Yes, exactly. That's
I
what I
think
was talking
so.
about. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we're on the same page.
And I think like maybe like a memory sort of falls over you of this witch kind of like teaching you about the various flowers growing in the garden.
Yes.
And just something about that, you recognize the flower and you recognize this flower has healing properties. I remember that because my companion told me that.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Um, and I think then me accepting this token, I think I think my character is sort of wildly uh waving this spear around and getting completely like lost in this grief. And I think that what I would like to change my instinct to is I seek to this as she kind of like brings back focus for a moment, and she feels like a soft tickle around her ankle, which is so unlike anything, and it's this flower. It's sort of like it's almost as if it's spread towards her, as if it's reaching to try to get her attention. And she remembers she forgets about the emotion again for a moment as she allows herself to focus again, sort of wiping at the tears at her eyes. And I think that she just has this moment where she imagines this camp, and she realizes this. She sort of pulls all the threads together. This forest has been tricking me this entire time. This forest has been feeding my hunger for knowledge, my hunger for to you know. And I think that she kind of has an understanding. She gets a deeper understanding of what this forest is about, and that perhaps the problem isn't the creature within it. Perhaps the problem is the forest itself and the people that enter it and what they wish for. And she knows her love would have wanted to protect her, and she knows that her love would have wanted to make her happy, and she can for a moment imagine a scenario that perhaps the forest tricked him into removing his own protection in order to increase hers. And I think that I will change my instinct from I seek to avenge the death of a loved one. I will change it to I seek to understand the disappearance of a loved one, and I will, so that I may lay the forest to rest.
That's good. That's good. Oh, that is delicious. And now I think I can tell everyone the second part of how this game ends mechanically because I didn't want to give it away.
Uh-huh.
It says when a player gains 3 tokens,
Yes.
the other player reveals their character's secret and makes a final enticement.
Mm-hmm.
If this causes a character to change their instinct, they narrate their final scene accordingly.
All right. So, has somebody gain 3 tokens?
I offered you one.
You did! Oh,
I
yes!
did!
I just totally realized. I was like, yeah, I just took it. I did not. I just was like, oh, who's got 3 tokens? Oh, it's me.
you!
All right.
God, I love it. That's so good.
I've got 3 tokens. Hey, I've got 3 tokens. So does that mean you reveal your secret?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, perfect. So you reveal the secret.
All right. Did we talk about secrets mechanically yet?
No. So just to be clear to everyone, this is going to be all of us, including me, hearing this live right now for the first time, because a secret is something that your character knows about the situation that they're in, or the other person, that the other person either doesn't know that they know, or it doesn't know at all, and you decide it, but the other player doesn't know what the secret is.
Yes, it's such a cool part of this system. And there's a table. I'm only gonna flash it just so you cats can't read it, can't get ahead. But you can build it or roll for it. And so the one I've chosen is deep in your heart, you know that you've long been infatuated with the other, and therefore neither one of you may harm the other.
Oh, so I guess my question is, how is this secret revealed, like, within the context of the story?
Yeah.
How does this creature, like, bear this secret out and sort of offer this as its...
Oh, fabulous. I think that it's revealed when they finally meet face to face.
Yes. I think that my seeker turns around and sees this creature at last that she's been hunting, and she knows has been hunting her. And I think that she sees it lying in those flowers and sort of almost resting there peacefully. It's not hungry or ravenous or violent or angry like the rest of the forest, and she understands that it's separate from the forest. It's something different from the forest, and it's clinging to those flowers as if it has some, like, it's beyond its, like, appetite. It has some knowledge. It understands what these flowers are and how they can help it, maybe.
Yes, and I think that since I offer one final enticement for you, I think you see this creature see you and get up, and it bows the way an animal bows, and you see around its neck is a necklace that you gave your love the first time you two went out. It's a woven necklace. You wove it from reeds around that lake, and it's preserved. And the dweller leans his head down and offers it to you.
And I think that we cinematically pan back to their very first, like, time, like, where they kind of, like, got together was at a dance within the village, and this hunter had sort of, like, come over and had, like, bowed at her and said, like, will you dance with me? And I think she sees this creature and she sees the way, and it just is so a lot like him, that she sort of like falls to her knees, and she reaches out and if it's okay, kind of like cups this
Yes.
creature's face, and I think she kind of just like breathes out the name of this creature, the name of her hunter. I think she sort of like whispers, Florian.
Yes. And I think as soon as she does that, this creature looks up at her and meets her eyes. And you don't know how, with this sort of canine mouth, it makes this sound, but it does say to you, Giselle?
And yeah, I think they kind of recognize each other. I think that she takes this she takes her pouch, and on this necklace she sort of makes up this charm of transformation. She's sort of like muttering as she does, you know. It's one of the things that he remembers. He's remembering more and more of the things that he loves about all these little behaviors. She was a mutterer. She always muttered to herself, and again she's doing it again. Like, she's talking to him, but she's almost talking to herself of just like, I'm gonna fix this, I'm gonna get you out of this. And she begins to create, sort of still holding tight to him, this charm of transformation, this sort of like this oil of restoration, and she sits with him and she fixes him, and I think as she kind of sort of clips it onto this like reed necklace around her, she fishes out of the pocket his half of the locket, and at the moment that she places it over his head, he can feel sort of the canines retracting, and the claws kind of coming in, and he can feel his memories returning to him, every memory that he ever shared with her. And I think that they kind of just have this moment where they realize that their mission, that what they need to do is, and what he should have done, what they should always have done, is done this together. They can face this forest, but they have to be together to do it. And I think that we can kind of end it there. I think that yeah.
I think that's where we see it pan out. I don't think we see them leave the forest. I don't think we see them succeed any further. I think we just see them together at last, and mostly human, and ready to take the world on together.
Yes.
And I think that's where we pan out.
Yay! We got the good ending.
Oh my gosh!
We
got the good ending.
Oh. Okay, well, wow, that was so fun, everyone. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm gonna just take this second to remind you all that there is a giveaway on.
Oh yeah. Yes, oh my gosh, I got so caught up in our story, I forgot we're doing a giveaway now.
Yeah, we're doing a giveaway for this game, which, by the way, is an incredibly beautiful game, and you should all have it. So, you just need to type in !enter, all as one word, and you will be entered in to the giveaway. You might win a physical copy of the game if you are US Canada based and I draw you first, or you might win a digital copy of the game if you have 2 copies up for grabs.
And it's such a good game. You should all get it, honestly.
Honestly, it is beautiful. And thank you again, Gabriel, so much for
Yes. Oh my
not
gosh.
just popping in, but like being here pretty much through the whole thing. Yeah, I'm flabbergasted at this game, and I'm a little bit like
Yes.
I'm a little bit like
It's
fangirling now.
yes. Oh my
Like,
gosh.
yeah, because it's so incredible. I had
Oh,
a blast, and
yes.
thank you for providing a game that kicked off
Thank you so
two-player games so nicely here. I also wanted to thank, because this happened at the very start, I got like a few subs from people, or people gifted out subs, which was really nice. So thank you for all of those people that have done that. I only recently got affiliate, so it's really, really, it's still like really shocking for me when someone subs. I'm like, ah! It's just kind of like weird reaction to it. But yeah, and I'm not good at asking for them at the moment, so I'll get there. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, everyone. That was incredible. That was an incredible game. And B, it was absolutely phenomenal to play this with you. B approached me and said, "You're going to play 2-player games in February. You should play this game." I got it, and I went, "Yep, I absolutely should play this game, and I'm going to play it with you."
Which I was so psyched about.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's been an absolute delight. So, enter the giveaway. What I'm going to do now, B, it is your time to shine. It is your time to plug. I would love you to plug. I was about to say plug yourself. I mean, by all means, but like, we won't do your own time.
Yes, don't worry. We won't violate Twitch rules. But like, well, first, I just want to thank everyone. Like, you are all so fabulous and sweet in the chat, and I really, really love getting to do this with Kat. Kat, you're such a phenomenal storyteller. This is so cool. I love your channel, and I love this game. Gabriel, thank you for writing this game. I know I've said it a million times, and I'll say it again. This is beautiful. This is a beautiful storytelling game, and I love it. And I'm segueing into the plug. I got to write a scenario with Gabriel in the Siltverses RPG, which Gabriel wrote with Jason Cordova, and it's fabulous. Please go check it out. And I'm in it partially because I'm actually in the Siltverses itself as a voice actor. Yes. And so
I love the Siltverses. I've actually only really recently been introduced to it. I saw the role-playing game, and I was like, that looks incredible. And then I saw that there was a podcast. I was like, how have I not heard of this? So I've been listening to it really recently. And I've got a like shock confession for you. It took me a very long time to put 2 and 2 together. An embarrassingly long time.
I'm delighted. That's good news. That's good news that I don't always sound like that.
This game with the B Nar, and I was like, yeah, the B Nar. And then I went, oh, do they mean something by that? And I really thought about it, and I was like, oh my! So I had a moment where I just really fully didn't. But it's been that's just me as a person. I'm just completely oblivious.
I love that so much, and I'm kind of delighted. I'm kind of delighted that I don't always sound like that, because I kind of feel it in my heart that I sometimes sound like that all the time. But no, definitely. Oh my gosh, that's good news. Yes.
But yes, so all right, B, go and keep.
Yeah.
Are you still plugging? Do you need?
Yeah, well, honestly, I was just like, if for others, like, I don't want to list all the shows here and like take up like a bunch of time, because I'd start bragging about everybody, how fabulous everybody is, all the creators. They're so, Jesus Christ, I could talk about so much about how fabulously talented everyone is. So just like follow me at Sassy Lich everywhere, and you can hear me yell about how cool people are, including Kat.
Oh, stop it. Stop it, you. All right, well, I guess it's my turn to plug. Hey everyone, I'm Kat. You might find me on the internet, Law Mistress 93 on pretty much all socials, and on YouTube. And here, because YouTube, I upload all of my VODs that I stream here, and I pop them over on YouTube afterwards, so it will be available on YouTube to watch if you only saw some of it, or you didn't see any of it at all, apart from that now you've just joined. You will find me at the Law Mistress, the Beanar and the Law Mistress together.
Yes.
How wonderful!
Iconic.
And yeah, I am a writer. I am an editor, a storyteller, which I'm glad to hear that I do that okay sometimes. And a streamer, an actual play performer. That's something that I've kind of been working on in the last year, and setting up this channel and everything like that. This month, I am focusing in on 2-player games, hence why we are here doing a duet game. And I have some amazing games lined up that I am very, very excited. You will see announcements for them properly in the coming weeks. But let me give you the lowdown of some of them that I've got coming up. On Tuesday, I will be with the amazing Cat Alicia, and I will be playing Empanel, which is a game by Bogus Cheesecake. What an amazing name, by the way.
Right.
And it is about 2 people communicating via Morse code. Plenty of queer pining in that game, you will find. So we love to see it. I will also be playing a two shot. I guess that's what they're called, isn't it? 2 shots. On Friday the 16th and Friday the 23rd with the amazing Jen Burb, who is producing this stream.
Yes.
And is an amazing producer, but is also a phenomenal player. We will be playing Follow Me Down, which is based on the myth of Orpheus and Eurydice. So we are very, very excited to delve into that.
Oh my gosh.
And
it's gonna kill me.
Saturday the 17th, I have a game that is you can play as 2 players or 4 players, and I've decided to create a sort of 4-player with facilitator thing going on. It is a game called Eyes on the Prize. I will be playing it with Gasconator 3000, Madame Ava Couture, Valiant Dorian, and Girl Wonder and herself. It is gonna be Regency romance times Feywild vibes. So and times fake marriage vibes. So if that sounds like your vibe, it's gonna be hilarious. Let me tell you, the character concept that I had with the session 0 that I just did with them, phenomenal. So you should absolutely check those out. And that's just this week coming. I've got plenty more, but I will plug those at a later date.
Whole month, guys.
Yeah, I got the whole month coming.
Yeah,
I've got literally
it's gonna be rad.
It's gonna be so rad. I'm enjoying people like yes, fake marriage. Yes, if you've ever never played Eyes on the Prize, please go and look at that game. It is absolutely incredible. All right. That being said, I guess we should draw for our giveaway.
We should.
That everyone who wants to enter, you have about 20 seconds to do so. Exclamation mark enter with a chance to win either a physical or a digital copy. Let's just wait, give everyone a little bit more time.
Yes.
And then I will draw. Let me get it up now.
Oh man, and just to bounce off of all the stuff Kat announced, this is like a star-studded, super cool month-long thing, and you all need to tune in. You're gonna love it. These duet games are gonna be so cool. It's gonna be so fabulous. Like, this is such a cool idea, and I am so psyched to have
I don't think that duet games get enough love, in the actual play community. I see a lot of multiplayer, and I personally love doing solo games, and I have a solo spotlight series. I've done 3 of them so far, and it's been an absolute blast playing them so far. But duet games I don't see a whole lot of, so I was like, I'm gonna do a whole month dedicated to them, and hopefully I haven't bitten off more than I can chew.
You got this. You got this.
Cool. Let me draw some entrants then. So number 1, let's see, the amazing Jen Burb.
Oh my god!
Jen Burb, you are going to get a physical copy because you, I know, are based in the US. So I will get Gabriel, if you're still here, I will get an address to you to send Jen the physical copy to. And let's see who is going to win our digital copy, shall we? It is stage. Oh, that's I know this because I used to be one. That's shorthand for stage manager. So stage MGR. I will have to reach out and maybe whisper to you. And yeah, you've won. Oh, there you are. I see you in the chat there. Fantastic. You get a digital copy. So I will reach out to you. I will find a way of reaching out to you because I cannot remember how to do that, but I will reach out to you and I will get that to you. I love that you're lurking. That's absolutely fine. I think I love it when people lurk. I think it's just nice to have something on in the background sometimes. So that's really cool.
Yes, and I actually know who this is, so don't worry.
Oh, I see you.
Yes,
I'll hit you up.
I have deets. I got deets.
So yes, it will be an itch code for you. And you get to have a copy of this game. So well done to the people that entered. Amazing. All right, shall we head out? Is there anything else that I'm missing? Is there anything else that anyone wanted to say?
If you didn't happen to win a copy or already own it, go buy Token. It's really cool. And go check out all of the other Glowing Roots Press stuff. Gabriel's an incredibly talented writer, an incredibly talented game designer. And if you liked this, you're going to love all of their other stuff.
I have just popped the Moobot prompt into chat.
Perfect.
So you can check out their itch page at Glowing Roots. I thought that I had changed the prompt, but apparently not. But you can also buy the physical copy at Exalted Funeral or Indie Press Revolution. And I implore that you do so because it is a gorgeous game. And if you want to know, just ask Jen Burb because Jen Burb is going to get you. He's going to get a copy, so you'll be able to confirm. All right, so let's head out then. Thank you all so much for watching. Does anyone have any raid suggestions? If not, I might just not raid, but I don't have anyone currently online to raid into. So, anyone got any suggestions? Do you have any suggestions, B?
I don't see any. That's the thing, is like I don't see anyone else online either. I know.
That's fine. We won't be raiding for now, but thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you again next time. My next stream, as I said, will be on Tuesday. So, cheerio.